I tried to find a solution through the law, going down lots of rabbit holes with the law and what it actually means and how it could set us free. I'm currently enrolled in a little course on the law of equity, but I don't know. I've been through so many of these courses seeking remedies, and I believe in it all, but kind of a big letdown to now. It's kind of like free energy. So many free energy videos on YouTube, and yet no one really bringing it forth. Recently I've been dealing with someone who has attempted to create one of these devices. Historically we can see these things are kept from us. People invent things and disappear, and honestly, free energy is not going to help. I mean, it has to come back to the land. If you don't have rights to the land, you don't have anything. You're just renting your life. I bought my land for cheap at an auction, and there is still cheap land all over. If I didn't have one, if I didn't obtain a piece of land at the auction, I would have found another way. And I did buy some other pieces and sell them years ago. But I've spent 20 years wrestling with the authorities to be left alone, be able to build my house and be left alone. For years I had no water. I used to go fill up tanks in town. In my last video I talked about becoming your own bank, and a lot of people didn't like this idea. Some people act like they have it all figured out. If you're communicating with somebody, they're taking part in the system, using the internet, using money, and we're all faced with this struggle to conduct ourselves in this artificial, disconnected world, or build a little house on a piece of land and provide for yourself. It's so extreme. And even when you do want to take the latter option, you're met with resistance, codes, and various forms of compliance. It's a cold world. They say our nation is based on rights given by God, and yet the laws don't reflect that. They're rights given by man. And that's why I'm learning the law of equity. The law of equity is based on the law of God. And actually, all court will hear equitable cases, God cases. Most people don't know this. In fact, we are told that there used to be commercial courts, and alongside them there were courts of equity. And the courts of equity originate from the church and used to be run by the church. And eventually they got rid of the equity courts, but made it to where all judges could see a case as a case of equity. The judge would literally put on a different hat. There's no financial gain in equitable cases, but there is true justice. I don't know enough to tell you guys about it right now, but I guess it goes to show that I haven't completely given up. Just tonight, maybe I'm feeling a little heavy. I have a Patreon group chat twice a week, and I'm always hoping to discuss or to entertain a solution, but sometimes I feel like people aren't really looking for a solution. Certainly not in the old world communities. And that's okay. It's a community based on researching history. But personally, I'm really interested in freedom, true freedom. And up to now, I feel like I've kind of failed. I'm no freer than anybody. I mean, I don't pay rent or mortgage, and that's about all I can offer. Build a damn house on a piece of land, because a house doesn't cost more than $50,000 to build. It really doesn't. My house cost $15,000. I got a bid to build another one just like it a year ago, just to get an idea what someone would charge me to build this $15,000 house. It came back at $90,000. Wood is pretty cheap right now. We could add a little more to that $15,000. Not much more. People are shysters. And if you ask somebody to do something for you, you can expect to get hosed. This is true with housing, food, medicine. That seems to be one certainty. The only thing that's true. And it's unfortunate. We could have healthy communities where people help each other. We don't have that. It's like everyone for themselves. Even when it comes to family, again, no helping. I feel better, actually. It's not just about talking to people. Some people say, John, you need to talk more. You know, I could talk to a bunch of people and they could just talk about a bunch of stupid shit, and I could feel worse about my life and the future of humanity. I don't just want to talk to people. I want to talk about things that matter. And I want to talk about how I feel. And that's what I've done. Let's take a pause. was going to talk about this map, or maybe this folder that somebody sent me from Croatia. Croatia, thank you for this. I wrote a book in 2013 called Off Grid, and I explain why I chose that lifestyle in the book and how I've gone about achieving it. I was treated like I was renouncing the world when I announced this to my friends and family. Announced that I would be moving off grid. And really, it's not a renouncement. I think it's an absolute embracing of the world and the parts that are good, taking whatever is good and trying to make a life out of it, and not participating in the parts that are enslaving. But after 20 years, I'm still not independent, and I would still need a little money to pay my property taxes. I mean, we really don't own anything. Pretend to own it, pay a little bit. Sure, it's better than paying rent or mortgage, but it ensures that you're attached to the system that you're trying to escape. And it's a horrible system. It's a system that allows people to rot on the streets, elderly people to not be cared for. We don't even have the right to live naturally. And you don't even have the right to live on the street. You'll get ushered away. I mean, some cities allow it, and others don't. Others will take you to a cell. Like, that's more appropriate. There's enough land for everyone in the world. There's enough land for everyone in the world in just Utah, Texas, or Arizona. There's enough land in Croatia. Croatia? Yes. So what about Croatia? I don't know. Thought we would talk about something historical. So somebody sent me this folder, Croatia. This looks kind of like the Please Touch Me Museum in Philadelphia, a World's Fair building. Here we can see a lot of beauty up here. A lot of adornment. Here again with this building, this Trojan warrior. Look at all the urns, urn, and techie one on the end. All techie. And these characters up here, they must have been pretty important figures, men and women. Renovations going on. Maybe they wanted to show us something that has been revealed. Truly a mind blower. Look at these figures. Do you recognize any of them? Pretty amazing. This kind of reminds me of some of the detail on the side of the Mormon temple before they renovated. I believe they've removed a lot of these symbolic features. They didn't look like this, but almost suspicious in a way. So beautiful, of course. And yet, these look like they were once windows. Stained glass, maybe. Here we have pedestals where there may have been statues. But just looking at the building, architecturally, it seems like there should have been windows here. Like this was once a brick building with windows and has been completely facaded, and these windows have been eliminated. Similar to like a Masonic temple. They're big on removing all the windows, adding to their secrecy. Super cool building here. It actually gets better, and that's the beauty with boots on the ground. Kind of looks small at first, and as we look closer and get closer, we can see how impressive she really is. And really looking like World's Fair again. And of course World's Fair wasn't World's Fair. World's Fair looks train station-y, to be honest. And that's my opinion. But it looks like a nice place. Really good time in Croatia. I used to order Croatian chocolates for my coffee shop in Salt Lake. And they do make amazing chocolate. Like, who knew Croatia was such fine chocolatiers. It really looks like a beautiful place. Absolutely preserved and impeccable, like the old world just sitting here in its glory. Here you have these people living in this beautiful old world city, eating fine chocolates. We see train tracks here. Not far from, again, what I proposed was a train station, and this may still be a train station today. It seems like it. Here people are carrying luggage. This clock seems a little off-center. So what is in Croatia? I pulled up the Google Earth, and Croatia is actually like right across from Italy. So it's no wonder they make good chocolate. I didn't realize how close it was to Italy, just on the other side of the Adriatic Sea here. And I have a pen, in fact. Let's have a looketh at my pen. Some of you may know or remember. Here we go. Boom. Fingerprint Island, which is really stone walls, which is really an old city, in my opinion, totally destroyed. And it's everywhere here in Croatia. All these islands are just wiped out and full of these old fingerprinty walls. Just nuts. And in fact, I was dropping the man. There's very few places we can drop the man in this crazy mesh of wiped out city. And I would like to do that now, but I would also like to show you this map. So yeah, Croatia, pretty abandoned and yet having signs of something advanced at one point, and poor explanations. They tell us they built all those walls to farm. You don't build walls when you're farming. That's just gonna block out the sun. No. But anyway, everything's just shredded and cooked out here. Lots of land. Shredded and cooked. And here, sorry, I want to show you this map of this same region. And this is the Urbano Monte map. Really mind-blowing map. Just mind-blowing. And here, we can see Italy. We can see the boot. It's kind of a goofy boot, but it's here. And this here, the Gulf, they're calling it the Gulf de Venezia here, Golfo, and this would be the Adriatic Sea. And what we could see are cities. I mean, we see cities everywhere. That's what's beautiful about this map, this Urbano Monte map. Citied out. In 1587, the realm is citied out. And so is Croatia. And then I just wanted to show you this part here. This kind of ties back to my Grand Canyon was cities. And here's that region. Here's these islands. Pretty amazing 1587. And these rivers go up and lead to other castle cities. Again, a quick peek of this area today. Just shredded. Was this the old coastline? Shredded fingerprint islands with cooked out walls. Great place, actually. Great place to buy some land, maybe. But anyway, let me show you one more quickie. Over here in India, since we're on this Urbano Monte map, look at their cities on the coast. Same pattern. Rivers in a horizontal fashion going across, littered with cities. And then when we go to India and look at these cities, oh shit, these things are mind blowers. Okay, alright, part 2. It's actually part 3, but I'm gonna throw part 1 away. It's alright. It was kind of depressing and kind of off topic, my story. Who cares? I think instead I'll show you my little exploration in North Korea. Yay! Oh, this isn't it. This is what I called the Japanese giant island. And it has this awesome city grid. Here's a city in comparison, just to show you how over-gridded all of this is. Supersize. And they're not canals or roads, they're just packed with trees. Here I have a couple exclamation points. Oh, it looks like I'm in Texas. Not what I wanted to show, but it's worth noting anyway. Texas. And some would say this, and some would say that. But I say really, this or that is psycho. And kind of pretty. Kind of artsy. And I don't know, what say you? Deep in the heart of Texas. I'm pretty sure it's Texas. Let's zoom back out and... looks like Texas. Southern Texas. Not far from the Mexico border here. No big cities out here. Just a lot of this craziness. Almost like the Nazca lines in Peru, but less organized. But also very straight and perfect. This is no joke. And the closest city is actually this Mirando City. And it's just built on top of all this mess. There's so much of it. Mirando City is just tiny, really. Unnecessary craziness out here. I wonder what these people say. Wonder if they know. Surely there's a story. Let me know if you know. I don't care, really. I do and I don't. I don't believe it. This is older. Super Super cool and crazy. Awesome. Is it a scrape fest? No, I think it's more advanced. Although what I'm going to show you today is some scraping. So here's some big cities. Laredo, Texas, and then over here we have New Laredo in Mexico. Really, really perfectly surveyed cities. Both of them gridded out to perfection. No Old West disorganization. No. But again, if we jump over the river here, here's America. America. And then over here is old Mexico. So Mexico grew a little slower. And of course, parts of America show these signs too. But my point is we can see the grid over here. Perfect grid. Perfect. So no surveying required. Just ready to go. Grid from the past. Up here you see some gridding as well in old Mexi. Oh, feature. So anyway, side tangent. Now let us go to my pins. North Korea 1. Here we go. So why North Korea? Why was I geeking out on North Korea? I don't know. I think we should all be interested in North Korea. And even though it's small compared to Russia or China here, it's still pretty massive. I spent a couple hours just up here. And I think the main city in North Korea is right here, Pyongyang. Pyongyang. Here we go. Just worth noting. Good old Pyongyang. Really serious build out. Again, this is a communist nation. Pretty much zero freedom. Zero, if we're to believe what we're told. And pretty built out. Perfect streets, trains. And of course I was looking for signs of the old world. What we discuss is true, then there would be signs of the old world here. And I think there is. I mean, we even see the shaping of the rivers, artificial land, perfectly organized and surveyed cities, super industrialized. And then we also see this old grid, like we just saw in Mexico, in Texas, more than they would ever need. Really, the population is very small and controlled, and yet we see every square inch of this nation develop. Huge cities, and I'm going to show you some of those. But I just wanted to start with Pyongyang. So we'll zoom out, and let's just find out real quick. Okay, current population of North Korea is 26 million, we are told. There we go, 26 million. So 5 nice-sized cities should be adequate, 26 million. And I don't know, how can we verify that? I mean, we're trusting somebody's census? Trusting the census? 26 million? Okay, we'll give them 26 million. And all of this just fascinates me. I mean, you have the convergence here of Russia, China, North Korea. Really interesting. It's like Russia reaches over like this little finger right here, wrapping around China. And so up here, you have North Korea, and then just right here, you have Russia, just at the tip. And in fact, I used to follow a channel who was from this city here, Vladivostok. So this seems to be like the furthest Russian city. Again, this finger that just kind of reaches over the Orient. Really fascinating. I'll have to go through this another time. But again, just to show you Russia, North Korea, and then here we have like a little finger of China. A little Chinese sliver running through right here. Super interesting. Why? Interesting layers of control. And really what I discovered is that North Korea is awesome. I would move there. And I think they intend for people to move here. And that's my theory ultimately. I'll tell you about that next. Pause. So my theory is easy. after doing a lot of this type of research. I mean, the theory stands on its own before even looking at this nation. This nation, again, is off limit. A nation of what we are told was 28 million people, and every square inch has been developed. And you can see the footprint. You can see the overgrowth. Again, doing this research, just anybody that explores Google Earth can see the footprint for a city from afar. And then we zoom in, and it's not a city. There's a little bit of development. We see a little bit of city being occupied, or is it? It's hard to tell because nobody will have cars here. I do see some people walking, maybe. Bike. No cars, though. So, like, how do you buy a house? Maybe they're just building them and giving them to their citizens. Or are these houses pre-existing before this nation? Right here we see like a kind of pagoda and huge buildings, really industrialized, trees, and a lot of ruins. A lot of ruins that we can't see. There's no photos. There's no dropping the man pretty much anywhere. And yet this is very advanced. This is like not something you do for people that don't have transportation, that really don't have rights. So yeah, no cars. And you can see people. So just few people. I mean, you could fit all these people in just a little part of this city. But what I'll show you is this just goes on and on. And also I want to show you this pattern. So notice, okay, what they might need here. Let's just say they need all this. These few people scattered about. But then what you'll notice is this pattern over here. So they're not farming, again, just like Texas, like Mexico. This isn't farming. This, in fact, is scraping. Scraping and making little piles is what I think, is what it seems like. So what we have is these perfectly laid out streets, and now everything has been scraped and organized, in fact. Piled up in nice rows, leaving enough room for the heavy equipment to move through. Pile everything up. You'll see this pattern over and over. So now my first or my second pin. Oh, it's right here. So this was a big theme. Again, this is up in the mountains, this one, but it extends off of, again, what should be a great city, great real estates, and looks like it has been developed. I mean, every inch of it has been touched, is what I'm saying. And then what do we see? It's not farming, it's scraping, just clearing out, rather. And we could spend a lot of time here, but I have a pin zooming in just to show you what we can expect. Even here, this area, you can see the neatly stacked piles of debris, like a graveyard of a city, just clearing out. And I'll show you some cities that remain that I don't believe are North Korean at all. But let's look at my pin up here. Up the canyon, everything scraped, little pockets left, little pockets of development, but a lot of demolition. And look here where my pin is, look carefully, you can see buildings that have been scraped, building, a lot of signs lending to my thoughts that they are erasing something. Again, this nation is not involved in trade throughout the realm. There's no excuse for this, for their 28 million people. Did we look at this pin? Look here. This is like a World's Fair row right here. Old gardens, now gone to waste. Again, are these buildings necessary? This is not even the big city. And these people don't have cars. Again, this perfect canal, this amazing city. I mean, just amazing in every way. Artificial coastlines, as I discuss over and over. Again, for 28 million people, I mean, we're almost rivaling the greatest nations in the world now. And even in our, they would call first world nations, I don't even buy it. I mean, I don't believe we built these artificial coastal features. Not in North America, not here in North Korea. So let's look at my next pin. So here is a great kind of port. Both of these, really. I mean, I just chose a few. There's stuff everywhere. I don't remember what I was looking at last night. Let's see. So here we go. Totally surveyed for nothing. And I was really looking for star forts along the coast as well. And some of you may pursue this and let me know when you discover something. And I did find something that I titled Malta. I started naming these areas, places that reminded me of other places that I'd seen. Here we can see buildings. This is a star fort. Here we go. So I couldn't really clearly find one yesterday, but here we go. Star forted. Let me put a pin here. And it was interesting. The reason I say, or I don't think I said it actually. Let me say it now. I believe that they are preparing this nation for an introduction into the rest of the nations. And the reason for keeping it so strange and so extra communist was because they had some work to do. So, they had this character who needs to be crazy. These characters. While they're doing work, people needed to stay out. And from my research last night, it looks like they're pretty much there. They're pretty much ready. And something that kind of tipped me off to that was the fact that they have national parks already in place. I'll show you that in a minute, maybe. There's all these national parks. Like, they don't need national parks in this super non-car having country. And yet, they have all these national parks, which tells me that the controllers plan on unveiling this nation. They'll already have tourism and stories told. And yet, no story here for this awesome tower and star fort. But anyway, there's more. Let me zoom out again just to give you a big perspective where we are. It's pretty big. It's a pretty big country. I'm just noodling around in the north of North Korea here. But here I titled this Malta. Why? I don't remember now. I think we just had another star fort. So we had some buildings up here, a lot of cool buildings. You can tell I even went back in time, but I won't do it now. And then here, star fortage. Not the best resolution, but you could tell. And a great port city here. Great artificial coast offering protection and so much to explore here. Too much. And again, every square inch cleared out, just all around it. Gridded out, cleared out, pushed into piles. Let me try to move real quick. Here's a pen. Okay, things like that. Canal along the coast, train along the coast. Here a small city. And there was one city in particular, I don't know if I'll get to show you that one, but it was all red. It was like it was made of all tiled roofs and perhaps brick. Here's a tunnel that goes right into the mountain. A train blasts right into this mountain. Looks like it comes out over here on this side. Goes through another little mountain here. Little hill, more like. No messing around here. Again, you can see the piles, and you can actually see a lot more. But I'm going to keep it moving. Here's a train hub, so I followed these train tracks to this nice little mountainous alpine city. And it's clear as could be. This was a train hub. A lot of it has been demolished. You can see an absolute scrape fest all throughout here. But no doubt, a hub at one point, now removed. Everything has been removed here. Many buildings. Here I wrote Big City, North Korea. Okay, so if you continue down this canyon via train, you reach this city. And this is a big city. Again, Pyongyang is way down south. Way, I showed you at the beginning. This is way up north here. And this is like a massive city. Parks, look at this. Look at these. And they're kind of abandoned. It's like a lot of trees growing sporadically. But you can tell these were old world gardens. This is a really good one. Look at this. Starting on the coast for a communist nation. This is unbelievable. A lot of it removed, probably beautiful buildings removed. Some statues left, like World's Fair style here. So again, we'll keep it moving. Preserve City, I wrote. This should be exciting. This might be the red tiled roof one. Yes, this one has the red hue. So look at this one. And this, I thought, seemed like such a nice city, so pleasant. I went through different timelines and it was really fascinating. Here it says Ceramics College. Ceramics College looks like it's gone. I mean, a massive building here that has been removed. And look at the kind of mud-flooded looking buildings here. I don't know, that could just be this angle. But yeah, this city is actually awesome. Is anybody even living here? I mean, if everything was so controlled, 26 million people could live in the area surrounding Pyongyang. I'm just not sure. I kind of propose that this city could quite possibly be mostly abandoned and some people living here and there, carless again. And again, the red hue. Are we seeing brick? A clear difference between this one and a lot of the other ones. And there could be more. So here there were all these boats washed up. I'll show you this. Bunch of washed up boats here. I don't know what the deal is. Beautiful coastal city, like a little Malibu here. And nice white sandy beaches. Like a California beach town here. Surrounded again, keep in mind everywhere, every square inch, everything has been touched, scraped, wiped out. I don't know, but let's just focus on why I put the pin here. The washed up boats. Let's check out these washed up boats. Just a pile, just a mess of boats here that have shipwrecked. Look at this, clear up to here. Are these shipwrecked? I don't know, there's a lot of boats. No cars, but is this a parking lot for boat? And really cool canal or train hub. I did find some star forts down here. Indeed. So I think I'll just leave it there for today. I hope you've enjoyed. I love you all. God bless. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you in the next one.